Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, and that is like go through my budget with you, what I spent in a month and how I can improve it going forward into the next month based on lessons that I have learned the previous month. I love watching videos like these on YouTube, and ever since I started living on my own and my apartment and stuff like that, it really just enlightened me and made me more self-aware about how I spend money, how I want to spend money going forward, like what I buy, and like really hold myself accountable. It was something that I never really did before, but I love doing it. So for the entire month of January, I wrote down every single thing that I bought, even if it was like a Subway or like doing my lashes. I wrote down every single thing and then I went ahead and categorized it at the end of the month. So for instance, any kind of food or fresh produce or even like food that I buy out would come under the categories of food / groceries. My next major spend for this month was appliances. Now this was the hugest spend ever in life because this was literally a washer, a dryer, a toaster oven, and like really big buys that I had. I just take comfort in knowing that next month I would not have those same big appliances to buy for, which would take off like a huge chunk of my spending. I had to get like a surge protector for like my fridge and my washer, and that came up to about 500. This really made my spending in January like the highest, literally so sky high because of those big appliances. It was a one-time buy, so appliances were really high. So my next category was home decor. So this would come under like little things that I bought for myself, a drying mat for my sink, a flower pot that I got with some flowers in it. It would come under any of the little things that I bought for my home itself. That also included like a can opener, for instance. I needed one of those, so I had to get one of that. My next category was personal. So for the month of January, personal things were my lashes. I do that every single month. My birth control. I also had like a mini shopping spree with my friend where I got fuzzy bedroom slippers, nude flats, and some Bath and Body Works products, and those were like the only things that I bought that were like really I didn't need, but I just wanted it in the moment. So for my fuzzy slippers and some underwear I spent around $163. I spent about $116 on flats, like my nude flats. I spent $83 in Bath and Body Works. Birth control is $100, so I pay that every single month because I take the pill, so that's every single month. I realized that my entire shopping completely curbed down so much since I started living on my own because I'm really only focusing on buying things that I truly do love, that spark joy, that are just essentials, and not just buying on a whim because I really don't want to fill this beautiful space with a ton of clutter. I just really do want things that I love and that make me feel really happy. So those were things that I bought that was just like non-essentials, like I said. The next category is Coco, who's sleeping right next to me right now. I got her some pet food fancy feast, so that was what I bought her for this month. My other category is rent and all things to do with apartments. So my rent is obviously a big chunk as well, and that is monthly. It's not like my appliances where I just spend once on that. Rent is monthly, and then I also had to pay electricity. So if you didn't know, because I didn't know, electricity is paid every 2 months. So I had to pay for electricity, my electricity bill in January, and I also had to pay for internet. So I have to pay for internet monthly, electricity is every 2 months, and rent is obviously monthly. So that goes into my rent and apartments category. Another big spend for me that I had to pay for was insurance. I had my health insurance due this month. Let me just say it was such bad timing. Like I did not want to pay for my health insurance this month because I had so many other big expenses, but I obviously had to pay for that and just get that completely out of the way. So those were basically my big spends for this month. I am not going to really be telling you guys the full total of everything. I just want to keep that part private. What I'm really happy to scratch off, like I told you guys, is the appliances, which came up to a lot of money, and you know, just cut down on some like groceries because I'm now kind of figuring out what I like and stuff like that. So I know like things that I always want to keep buying versus some things I have in my pantry that I didn't even touch as yet. But I'm all about figuring things out and improving as I go along. I think February is going to have a lot less expenses, so I'm so excited about that. I'm so happy about having way less expenses in February. I do know I have to pay my life insurance in February. That is something I know upfront that I have to budget for, but other than that, those were basically the things that I spent money on. Let me just say that budgeting has really opened my eyes and made me more aware. Like, yes, moving in did make me like definitely more aware, but actually writing things down and seeing where my money goes definitely like wakes me up. It shows me that I really don't need to buy like just random things here and there, and that like every cent counts, especially when you're living on your own, especially when you're doing it all alone as well with no help from anyone. Like every single dollar counts. That is basically what I have learned so far, but it has been so amazing for myself. Such a huge period of growth for me to like manage my money so I can make sure and have rent in the first week. Don't play that game. Like, check off my big bills like electricity and internet and stuff like that, pay off my health insurance, and then definitely save a little bit. So I am really bad at saving right now because I have been literally furnishing this entire apartment by myself. So that is taking out a chunk of everything, but as soon as like I feel settled, I am definitely going to be, you know, saving a lot of money, way more than I am now. The only thing that is going to be a big expense in the next few months is my couch. I am waiting on my dream couch. Like, I don't want to spend a ton of money. I am already spending so much to furnish it, like I said, but I don't want to spend a ton of money on buying a single thing that I absolutely hate. So that is why I'm taking so long with my couch. I'm actually going to be doing a custom made one that I'll tell you guys about, but that is another big expense that will be coming up. I'm also trying to space out my big expenses, but like I said, washer and dryer, I really needed it immediately this month because how else will I wash and dry my clothes? So I needed that immediately this month, but other than that, I'm in no rush to spend a ton of money on my couch as yet, or like a huge rug or a coffee table because I spend most time in this room as well as in my bedroom and kitchen. So I'm in no rush to like spend a ton of money on that. I'm really like spacing it out because like I said, these things are like really pricey, and especially if you want to like have good investment pieces, it is just better to do like that. So this process of watching where my money goes and seeing how I spend, like I said, has been so enlightening, and I highly recommend that everybody like start writing down every single thing that they buy, then categorizing it so that you kind of have like these set categories every month where you like look to see where your money is going and see how much money you're spending on random things that you don't need. Another thing that I noticed is that my food bill, going out to restaurants and spending just wildly, has definitely cut down. Normally I go so many times for like sushi, or I go out and just spend a lot in restaurants, and that mentality has completely switched off now into buying things for my apartment and really like making my space beautiful, because that is where I'm putting so much value into, and that is what is most important to me right now. I hope that you enjoyed this budget type video. Let me know if you want to see more of it, like my February budget on how that changed from January and how that changes every single month now that I'm more aware of how I'm spending. Thumbs it up and subscribe because it really means so much to me, and it just, yeah, it really means a lot to me, and I don't want you to miss out on anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.